Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my July favorites. It's actually been kind of a while since I filmed the video. You wouldn't have noticed because I had all my videos go up on Sunday, Thursday like I usually do. But I was at the cottage, had a little mini family vacation, and I'm back feeling so good, ready to film. I actually don't have that many products this month just because I was on vacation. Wasn't really testing too many things out. And I was trying to pre-film prior to going away, and I'm going to be going away for another week too. So a lot of videos I have to film right now, and for my July favorites, not that much. Do have a book to mention and a fragrance, my number one, that I brought to the cottage with me because I fell in love with it. I'm going to start off with first. This fragrance I am obsessed with. Looking at the notes of this, I honestly didn't think this would be a fragrance that I really like, to be honest. But when this sets down on my skin, and there's something truly special about this. It's my first tea fragrance that I've ever tried, and it's from Replica. It's their new matcha meditation. This is what the bottle looks like. I did bring it to the cottage with me, and I already used quite a bit of this fragrance. I'm in love with it, honestly. It's one of my top fragrances right now, and a surprising fragrance for me because this has that green element, the matcha in it, which you spray initially, and you really get that matcha fragrance right off the bat. The dry down on this, though, is what really sells it for me. I think I like this fragrance so much because it is a white floral, but it has this sweetness to it. And at the base, when this dries down on me, I get this white chocolate element to it, which I think really ties in the matcha and just makes it such a beautiful scent. Like, I cannot get enough of this. The only thing about this fragrance, it doesn't wear very long on me. I have to spray it a couple times throughout the day just to get the scent to linger because I do find it fades, which isn't a bad thing to me for some fragrances. Some I do want to last, some I don't because I find those give me a headache. So this one that I do have to spray a little bit more than some of my other fragrances can be a bad thing for some people, can be a good thing in my opinion because it's not so overpowering that it gives me a headache, you know? I'm just very happy to have discovered a tea fragrance that I really like. I think the notes in this really just tie it together, and it's a beautiful, unique scent, but very wearable. It is just such a beautiful fragrance. I cannot get enough of this. So if you are in store, want to check this out, definitely give it a smell. If you like similar fragrances to me, I want to know your opinion on this because this one totally caught me off guard, and probably my favorite Replica scent that I've smelled, truly. I really, really love this one. I also got this fragrance in PR. It is from Givenchy. It's the Irresistible fragrance, and this is the Eau de Toilette. And I have the EDP currently, and when I got this, I forgot how much I like this scent. I probably like the EDP more, but honestly, this is different enough to me to warrant both, because sometimes when you get the EDP compared to the Eau de Toilette, I don't think there's too much difference to warrant having both, but this one has more of a fresh floral element to it, and the other one has more of a vanilla base. So this one's really good for spring, summer right now, and the other one, well, both of them really I could wear all year, but this one specifically is good right now for me, and the other one I'd say is more of my going into fall scent. But if I had to pick, honestly, the Replica one just takes the cake for me. Like, it is amazing. I still had every intention of mentioning this one until that one came in the mail. That one I've just been wearing every single day. Like, I cannot get enough of the Replica, but I wanted to mention the Eau de Toilette if you're familiar with Givenchy Irresistible. That one's a really lovely variation of the fragrance. And then I just have a handful of makeup here to go over. Two bronzers, actually, that I wanted to mention. And I have the Vive bronzer and the one from Huda Beauty, the Glowish line. And I wanted to talk about the Glowish one first because I honestly think this one's truly special in terms of the formulation of it. The packaging isn't really my favorite type of packaging, but the product inside was surprisingly really beautiful because I wasn't initially going to pick this up, but my friend Stephanie sent me one to try out, and she sent me the shade 03 Tan Light. It's a perfect shade for me, and it is just such a beautiful formulation. It isn't flat at all. It glides on the skin. You won't get any patching, skipping. It's really a nice formula in terms of how user-friendly it is, how blendable it is. And that's why I really like it. I think it's definitely one worth checking out if you were curious about it, and just goes on seamlessly. Like truly like a really light, creamy type powder that isn't flat or matte. Gives you kind of a skin-like finish. It's just really a perfect kind of finish for me. And then for the Vive Modern Bronzer, I got it in the medium one. So it has medium 1 and medium 2 in it. I have been mixing both of them. Personally, like more of a warmer tone bronzer, like the medium 1 down here, so I use that more often, but I have been mixing them and it's been turning out really nice. So I have a combination of all 3 of these bronzers on my face right now, just because I couldn't decide which one I was going to wear for the video. If I want more pigmentation, I've been reaching for this one and more of a matte bronzer, but if I want a nice dusting of just a nice glow, really nice and light pigment, and just something that melts into my skin, I go with the glowish one. So I love both formulas. I had to mention both of them. You guys know how much I love bronzer, and I need to swatch this while I'm at it. You can see the comparison. This is the glowish, and those are the 2 shades in the Vive bronzer. Subtle in terms of their finish, you can see, but you can definitely see more of a glow for the glowish one. Looks a little bit cooler. The medium 2 looks a bit red, and this one's more warm. Kind of really good variation actually for me, because they're all 3 really different bronzers. Because I love the Vive bronzers so much, I also really loved the Vive powder blushes, and I tried them at the same time. This is in the shade Sorbet, and it has the same beautiful formula as the bronzer. I know that these were a top selling, really popular blush formula, and that's why they went with the same formula for the bronzer. This color is just the perfect punchy sort of color to the cheeks, really perfect for the summer. Again, the formula just blends in effortlessly into the skin. I'm in love with this. I really want to check out more of the blushes because I love the formula so much, so I'm very happy with those powder products. And then another powder product that I kind of had a little bit of an issue with at first because I didn't know exactly what kind of brush or whatever to apply it to my skin. And this was the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder. I've heard so many people rave about this powder. Initially I wasn't gonna pick it up, but I did decide to get it. This is in the shade 3 Neutral, and I do want to pick up 2 Neutral as well, just because this can be a little bit dark on me sometimes. And I've already did quite a number on this powder because the embossing is totally getting rubbed off. But at first I was using too light of a brush to apply this to my skin, and even one that was a little bit more dense, like my big It Cosmetics brush, wouldn't pick up enough powder to deposit on my skin for me to really notice a difference. As soon as I started using my Beauty Blender Puff to apply this to my skin, literally a top probably 2 powder for me. Like, it is so beautiful on the skin, perfect for an everyday makeup, but I definitely needed something that could really pick up the product more to deposit on my skin for me to notice the difference in this. And with that being said, I probably will use up this powder quicker than other powders just because of how I feel I need to apply it to my skin to give it the finish I like. But as soon as I found that Beauty Blender Puff with this, literally a match made in heaven. It looks so beautiful on the skin. It gives you a glow, but also perfects your skin, which is very rare to do. So it gives you the smoothing quality, but doesn't dull your skin. Really gives you a beautiful finish to the skin, and I cannot get enough of this powder. So that was a top product for me. Looking at everything here, probably my second favorite product next to the Matcha Meditation fragrance from Replica. That's how much I love that. The next product I have here is another thing that I got from Stephanie. She's been raving about this, telling me I need to try it. So she sent over the Haley's Retouch Perfecting Powder, Loose Setting Powder. And this is beautiful. I know Stephanie always raves about this powder, and I can totally see why. I'm wearing it today, and it really does a good job at perfecting the skin. This is truly a really beautiful, smoothing, pore filling, really soft finish to the skin. I think it's beautiful. I could wear this on a daily basis for filming makeup. It's a really versatile powder for me that isn't heavy. It's nice and thin. It does deposit a slight bit of color to my skin. It's not truly translucent, but I don't think it claims to be. And it just really does a fantastic job at smoothing out this skin. I don't think it overly mattifies my skin either. It just gives this beautiful finish to the skin. This is a powder I would use more so for full makeup days, and the Dior one is more so for like a regular makeup day for me, just because of the finishes that they give. But if you're looking for a truly flawless powder, this Hailey's one is beautiful. So I've really been enjoying that. And then I did do a review, which I'll link up here, on the Catrice Cosmetics True Skin Hydrating Foundation with hyaluronic acid. It's a long wear foundation, truly a beautiful foundation. You'll need to check out the video to see how it looks like on my skin, but I do a wear test in that video. This is more so my natural skin tone shade, which is Neutral Hazel. A little light for me right now, but for most days, when I don't have much color, this is what works out for me. And what I like about this foundation is how it wears throughout the day. It has that long wear, which I'm looking for. It has the perfecting quality, which I'm looking for. It's a little bit thicker of a foundation on my skin. It has a pretty fast dry down, which is the only downside to me. But if you know that going into it, you can really work with the formula. So it's not anything that I would say not to buy because of, but I do think this would work more so for those with normal to oily than for those with really dry skin, just upon wearing it on my face. Even though it has that hyaluronic acid, which is really hydrating, I just think due to the formula, it would work best. But if you have very dry skin and tried this and it works for you, let me know in the comment section below. But that was another really nice find for me because it's only $11 US at the drugstore, $13.99 I believe at Shoppers if you're wanting to pick it up. And just a really great affordable foundation. I'm almost positive I've mentioned this mascara before, but I had to mention it again because I took up some different mascaras with me to the cottage, and as soon as I got back, I missed this mascara. It really makes a huge difference for my lashes. So this is the Lancome Monsieur Big Extreme. And I do love the original Monsieur Big. I never really got into it when it first came out, but I do really like it now. But the extreme version makes it look like I have false lashes on. It is so beautiful on how it separates, thickens, and lengthens my lashes. This is definitely more of a voluminous mascara, but it definitely does all three for me. This has a really big brush to it, kind of sporadic bristles on it. It just works though with the formula too. And if you love Monsieur Big, try out the Extreme. I was only able to find this on Sephora Canada though, so I'm not sure what other places you can get it. But as soon as this runs out, this is the mascara I want to reach for. Even more so than my Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift, I've been reaching for this. And normally I don't find that much difference in high-end mascara versus drugstore mascara. This mascara is different. There's something special about it. And if you're looking for a very voluminous mascara, check out the Extreme version for Lancome Monsieur Big. It is beautiful. Beautiful. Like top mascara right now. You'll be seeing that in my end of the year favorites. I finished 2 books this month. I read The Maidens, which was the author of The Silent Patient, if you guys remember that book, which was a 5-star read for me. The Maidens wasn't as good as that book. However, it was a really entertaining read, but my favorite book this month was Project Hail Mary. It was so good. Oh my goodness. I loved it so much. It was the author of The Martian. If you've read that or have seen the movie, they did make a movie on that. This would make an even better movie. In my opinion, it read like a movie, and I'm not normally into too much sci-fi type of stuff, but this is different. Without giving too much away, it's just a space exploration and pretty much have to save Earth. It is incredible. Like, I couldn't put it down. It was a pretty long read, but I could not put it down. I love everything that happened in it. It was just a perfect book in my opinion. Perfect 5-star book. You gotta go read that one. That is everything for my July favorites. Didn't have too much, but so many like amazing top tier favorites. New favorite perfume that's moving its way into my top 5 perfumes. Really good book. You guys gotta check out. So many good things this month. I hope you guys had a really good July. And if you have any products, whether it be lifestyle, beauty, fragrance, whatever, leave them down below. I'd love to check them out. I had no fails this month actually, which was surprising. Normally there's something that doesn't really work out for me. I already end up returning a couple things from my Sephora haul, so those were obviously fails. If you want to check out my Sephora haul update, which I'm glad you guys are liking those. I'm definitely going to continue those in the future. And that's officially it. I was trying to think of more updates. I'd love to know what you guys want to see next on my channel. If you have any ideas for me to film, because I got to get a bunch of stuff up in the next couple weeks before I go away again. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for spending a little bit of your day with me. I really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed already, I would love for you to join the family by hitting the red button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one.